Let the meeting begin. Mr. Clerk,
Mayor Joseph,
here.
Councilman Galvin,
Here.
Vice Mayor Keys,
Here.
Councilman Bieneme,
Here.
Councilwoman Steril.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance with Officer Niall Johnson. I said it correctly, right?
Yes, you did. Please rise. Put your hand on your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, before we go forward, I would like to take a few seconds to observe a moment of silence for our late gentleman who passed away in Baltimore, just in respect to his soul. Thank you very much. We'll proceed with the invocation with Pastor Chris Cassagno from Tabernacle of Glory. If he's not here, I'm going to pick someone from the audience, and that person shall be. I'm going to pick Mr. Jeff Geimer. He seems like a religious guy.
Good evening. Everyone bow your heads. Dear Lord, please look over this meeting this evening, look over the mayor and council and our city manager, city attorney, and other elected officials, and have them the best interests of the community in mind when they make their decisions. In the Lord's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Order of business, Mr. Manager, additions, deletions, or amendments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to add tab L as in Lamb, a discussion regarding Councilman Galvin open list of constituents cases as tab L. Item number 10, tab L. I've also updated the list and turned it over, but if there's a discussion, I believe.
Well, tab L is an addition that you are proposing?
That's correct.
Well, I only got this tab only a few minutes prior to meeting, but upon reading through it, it seems to be an administrative.
I don't have it here.
Oh, you don't have it?
No.
It's at the cover.
It's in the cover of your binder, yes.
Isn't this an item that you could discuss with the councilman outside of this meeting?
Mr. Mayor,
Because it's a request that you have for the complaints from the constituents.
Mr. Mayor, may I add some background? I've always considered constituent case inquiries the most important thing that I do. So anybody from the community who reaches out to me with a problem, to me, that's the most important thing we have to do as council people. As you look at this list, it's incredibly long. There are approximately 130 residents, some of whom have been waiting over a year for answers to simple inquiries.
No, my only a concern is that we do have an administrative staff, and we have the constituent representatives who are there, who are hired to do just that.
So why have I
So-
brought this onto this agenda then, if they're doing their jobs?
Mr. Manager, can you please explain? Because this is going to consume way too much of our time. This is something that should be taken care of at the administrative level.
Sure. Mayor, with all due respects, staff has been, all directors have been given the list, all appropriate departments have been given the list of complaints. We have several issues in the building department. We have changed the building official. Some of the names here are from the previous building manager.
But have you addressed any of these issues with councilmen?
All these issues have been brought up through some of the directors and managers. The lists have been updated As of 5 o'clock this afternoon, the list have been updated with all the updated information on these
Have you
complaints.
sat down with Councilman Galvin to discuss any update about these complaints?
The final list has not, I have not sat down with Mr. Galvin Councilman Galvin to go through it. As I said, it was updated as of 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Mr. Mayor, I'm willing to be here for hours to answer the questions of our residents. This is far more important than any lobbyist. This is far more important than any special event. We're willing to dedicate lots of time, resource, and money to fluff and pomp and circumstance, and it seems we're not too willing to address the residents and spend time on them.
Actually, this is it's because of respect to the constituents that I am asking that the manager who is paid as the chief executive officer to sit down and address these issues with his staff along with you, and to have a periodic meeting with you and address these issues.
I send this list to
Okay.
staff every Monday morning for years. I've been here 16 years now, Mr. Mayor. I've got 4 more years in front of me, even though some people don't like that. We are going to make the residents of this city our priority. If we're going to do it tonight and spend hours going over one by one 130 items, we'll do it. If the majority of
Mr.
this,
Manager,
if the
I am
majority of this,
I
I'm
am
sorry,
going to
Mr. Mayor, I
direct
was speaking.
Mr. Manager, I am going to please direct you.
I call for a
to-
vote. If you want to vote and do it, we'll
We are-
vote. You don't give direction, Mr. Mayor.
I
The
am going
residents
to
of
please
this
direct
community,
you.
the
This is my
residents-
meeting.
It is not your meeting, it is our meeting.
I
good sir.
preside over this
You
meeting.
preside, but you don't
Mr. Galvin,
dictate.
I am going to ask you, please. This is, as a matter of fact, this is not a discussion item. This item came to me only 15 minutes prior to
No,
this
Mr. Mayor,
meeting.
it was part of the published agenda days
No.
ago.
Well,
Everybody
I
is
guess-
afraid of the residents. Why are we afraid to
We
talk
are
to
not
our
afraid.
residents?
We are not afraid of
Then
the
answer their
residents. We are only
questions.
going by what is proper. We are going by principle.
Yes.
As administrative staff take care of complaints from constituents. Is that true, Mr. Manager?
That's correct.
But if that was the case,
Where-
Mr. Manager, why can't these get answered otherwise? This list comes to you every Monday morning, does it not?
Yes, it has.
Okay, so why am I looking at constituent inquiries that are months, and years old? Why can't we get those answers? Why does it take me putting it on the agenda for everybody to lose their stuff and try to go crazy trying in 72 hours to answer questions? That kind of passion should be there all the time, not just when I put it on an agenda and everybody's going to be called out for not answering questions. They're not answering questions.
May
With
I?
all due,
No, go ahead. please.
with all due respect, Councilman Galvin, I made it a point to get with my staff to address all of these.
When did you get together with them?
I had staff member get together with most of them since Monday of this week, trying to update the
So
list.
yesterday, everybody got focused on this. Yes, yesterday, that's nice, because I put it on an agenda. Mr. Mayor, I shouldn't have to put constituent inquiries on an agenda. That should be the most important work that we do at City Hall. It shouldn't be an afterthought. It shouldn't be something that we get to after we're done having parties for ourselves. It should be the only thing we're focused on when we get here. And Mr. Mayor, I find it absolutely unacceptable if we're going to continue to fluff this stuff off.
Like I said, the city manager, it behooves you to really take these problems at heart and get with your staff and see to it that the staff do what they were hired to do. The constituents are the ones who pay taxes. They are the reasons why we are here. Had it not been for them, there would not be a government. And for these issues to be dragging so long to the point where we have to have this discussion about it, it is unacceptable. So I recommend that we do, and you told me right before I walked in here that all of these issues have been addressed, right?
Right. Most
If
of
the-
most of the issues on the list, I would say 90% of the issues are addressed. Some of them are pending funding, some are pending other items that we are waiting on.
But have you updated the
But is-
councilman about these? what
I
you
gave
just
him an
said?
updated list, but what I will,
When did you give me that list, Mr. Manager?
I just handed you a copy. of
Right,
it.
you just handed it to me, so I'm expected to, in real time, read, digest, and know it.
No.
That's not acceptable.
I hear you.
I'm, all right, I'm gonna meet my council halfway. I don't hear any voices of support here for me, so I'm gonna meet my council halfway. There are 130 problems here that need to be solved. When can I expect not just something sent to me, but something sent to each one of these 130 residents explaining what's happening with their issue? When can the people who asked for an agenda to be mailed to them because they don't have internet access know whether or not they're going to get their agenda? When can people who asked for sidewalks in front of their house to be patched because they're broken, when can they know their sidewalks will or will not be patched? When?
I could actually meet with you if you want tomorrow morning.
I don't want you to meet with me. I said to you just as we started, this isn't about me. It's about these residents. When can these residents expect answers? I copy you with the name, address, and email, and sometimes phone number of each one of these people. I spoon feed you the inquiry.
Give me until Friday and I will contact each one of them. If I don't contact them personally, I'll get one of the members of my staff to do it and respond to each one of these individually. Most of the items are already taken care of, or we have an action to be done.
So this
And
item,
it will
this
be
list-
reflected to the residents or constituents by Friday of this week.
So this list is closed by the vast majority, not just contacted like, hi, I'm acknowledging I've got your complaint a year and a half ago. Results, Friday, you're telling me results Friday, closing out most of these
Close.
things Friday?
This Friday, if I have all, I will get it done by this Friday.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Did
Mayor.
you have something to say?
No, I'm done.
No. Okay, we'll proceed with some.
No, I was gonna say, looking at the list, I see that a lot of those, some of them are concerning District 3, and I sat down with the city manager and I already addressed all those when it comes to fence, sidewalks, and wall, and all those
Yeah,
things
that's
regarding
correct.
the district.
The fencing, the sidewalks, and this is the point I was trying to make. It is something that has to be, the money is there. I'm using the money that is allocated from District 3 to construct the wall
Yeah,
behind the CVS.
yeah,
It
we're
takes-
already okay with that.
It takes a
and now
procurement
it's-
process. It's on the list.
Now we're looking
So,
for an RFP, an
Exactly.
RFP to get.
So all of this is outlined
when
in
it
the.
comes to my
we have,
district.
we have done all the work. It's just to reach out and to each one of the constituents and tell them what is happening as an action item.
By Friday.
Okay.
Friday?
By Friday, I will have it done for you,
Mr.
Councilman.
Manager, please.
And
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman,
Mayor,
may I
some
say
people need
something?
to understand that we have 4 districts in the city of North Miami. We have District 1, we have District 2, we have District 3, and we have District 4. If you have something regarding District 3, you need to address that to your city council. And we have 4 council members, and we have 1 mayor, and which overall everything. And everything here and regarding District 3 have been addressed.
Correct.
And some of them we're in the process of an RFP in order to start doing the work.
Actually, Councilman, you and I met on all these
All
concerning
those,
the
everything regarding
sidewalks and
District
everything.
3, we're on top of that.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, may I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Also, through the mayor, Councilman Galvin, a lot of the, not a lot, several of these items are also items that I have been working on, some in my district, some not in my district. But there's a lot of code issues that I have been working on nonstop with citizens. And we get a lot of emails to both of us, several addressees. When I respond, when I'm doing something, I do not copy you for sunshine reasons. So I do notice there are a lot of items on here that I've been working on, a lot of code items, and I see a lot of these items have been closed and taken care of. So
I wish somebody would tell me then.
That would be
because
good.
I'm expending my effort and my time, and I'm sending this list every morning saying, hey, what's up with these? What's up with these? If they've been closed, write back to me and the resident and say, here's what we've done, here's why it's closed.
Correct.
Done. I now know that Friday, this list, after 16 years,
It will be closed.
cease to exist.
If-
And
if-
I'm thrilled.
If I can say just one final word, Mr. Manager, please try to develop some kind of multidisciplinary system, including department heads, staff, and everybody else who's involved to please address these issues in an astute manner so we don't get to this point.
but we do have a new constituent services coordinator. She's got my list, she's got Councilman Galvin's list. So since we don't speak to each other in emails, a lot of the things are ongoing that can't be closed because we have ongoing code issues and violations that we're working with our attorney, but it would be nice if our coordinator could, if she's sending something to Mr. Galvin, let me know, Councilman Galvin, let me know, or if I'm taking care of it, let Councilman Galvin know that I'm working on it and it's not being ignored.
Thank you very much. We'll proceed with some special presentations.
Mayor, for the record, tab L was not included on the agenda, just so that we can
That's
have a
correct.
clear record. Thank you.
Yeah, tonight we have a special presentation to a young lady who's about to celebrate her 105th anniversary. At this point, I would invite Mrs. Ismelia Kanki Joseph. I would like to say that we are related, but unfortunately we are not. I would kneel in front of you every day and get blessings. If the whole family members could please come forward so we can present the proclamation to her. You can come with her, roll it towards the front. Actually, is Bruno here?
He said he was busy, right? So
Well, we cannot wait for him. The show must go on. I thought that was the lucky guy. Okay, this proclamation is presented to Miss Ismelia Kanki Pierre. It reads as follows. Whereas Madame Caberno Pierre was born Ismelia Kanki on July 3rd, 1910, in Paris, Haut-Limbé, Haiti, commonly known as Séminaire Limbé. And whereas Ismelia married Caberno Pierre and was blessed with 11 children, 6 boys and 6 girls. And whereas Ismelia's resilience after the loss of, unfortunately, 6 children during their childhood and the loss of her longtime companion, Mr. Pierre, in 1993 at the age of 85, astonished the family. And whereas, with her faith in God and the love and support of her family, Ismelia will turn 105 years old on July 3rd, 2015. With full vision and lucidity. She can say, I love you, but she won't say it to me. And whereas Ismelia has been a resident of North Miami since 2001, upon her arrival from her hometown in Haiti. And whereas the city of North Miami acknowledges Ismelia for her courage and resilience and wish her continued blessings. Now therefore, in consideration of the foregoing, we, the city council members, along with the city residents, we do hereby proclaim April 28th, 2015, Miss Ismelia Kanki Pierre Day.
We pulled that. Yes. We pulled the sanitation. No, this is the other thing. That's what he was talking about. Settlement agreement. It's still not finalized. It's not. Yeah, but the ordinance is not on. No, we pulled it. It's not on the agenda.
Koumani, bonsoir. Bonsoir. Il va le dire merci à toi.
My name is Nicodème Pierre, Ismelia ou Madame Cabano Pierre. Baby, we are so happy to be here, and then we would like to take that opportunity to thank the mayor and the whole staff.
This is my story. This is my song. Praise him, my Savior, all the day long. This is my story. Sweet Jesus. This is my song. Praise him, my Savior, all the day long.
Go to Boca. Thank you. All right.
The blood of Jesus whispers.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will continue with some more presentations. Bring the presentation.
I thank everyone, and I have no words really to express myself because, you know, as her baby, and as I put in the paper, she can see better than all of us here. So we praise God, and we thank the mayor and the whole staff for that big opportunity, for that big event for this afternoon. And then we going to keep praying for the staff so God can do whatever he needs to do for the community to grow up day by day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hmm? No, just call all of them to come to the front.
I hate this city, man.
Okay. Now, during the tax season, participants of the volunteer income tax assistance program, they offer free assistance, of course, to our residents who generally earns less than $53,000, and persons with disability as well as the elderly. These volunteers are IRS certified, and they provide free basic income tax return preparation with electronic filing and to qualified individuals. At this time, I will call the following individuals to please come forward. Kendra Warren, Serge Nichols, Marie Janak, as well as Khalid Salahuddin.
And when you get to that, you just type.
Khalid Salahuddin is from Parks and Recreation. Now, mind you, these volunteers, they spent several hours assisting residents of North Miami at the Sunkist Grove Community Center. And on behalf of the residents, I will say thank you very much for your dedication to our
KIEYKE. I'm happy.
Thank you. All right. You guys, thank you. Okay. I think this is the last one. Last but not least, certification of recognition in honor of Water Conservation Month. April is known as Water Conservation Month, and I would like to welcome Mr. Whistler Pierre-Louis to please come forward. Whistler is not here?
Whistler is at a training, so we'll have the city engineer Hassan accept it.
Okay, the city engineer Hassan will come forward and accept the recognition in lieu of Whistler. And do you have it? Yeah. Now, the certificate reads as follows. The City of North Miami honors our Public Works Director on the 17th anniversary of the establishment of Water Conservation Month in Florida. The department continues to increase awareness and the importance of water conservation within our community. Thank you for your continued efforts. She went fishing. She went to conserve water. Thank you. Enjoy, Whistler.
Thank you. Thanks. Good job, Hassan. Thanks.
Okay, let's rock. Let's proceed with city events announcement with our dear Pam Solomon.
Good evening, everyone. As we wrap up the month of April and head into the month of May, it's a very busy spring season here in the city of North Miami. So I will be brief as I go over our events, but we do have all of our information posted on our event calendar at northmiamifl.gov. Just look for event calendar, and we also have our major events, our highlights of events on our Celebrate page, which can be accessed at northmiamifl.gov/celebrate. This week, tomorrow, April 29th, we have our second comprehensive plan workshop. This is hosted by the Community Planning and Development Department, and we invite local residents, business owners, activists, civic organizations to join us on this process to update the city's comprehensive plan. Some of the topics to be reviewed include the state requirements for the comprehensive plan, which is mandated that city governments update this document every 7 years. As well as our adopted future land use map, results from our first community workshop, and other upcoming topics such as the Florida East Coast Railway passenger stop that is projected to be in our city, and a host of other topics. For details, you can contact the Community Planning and Development Department at 305-895-9825. Next Tuesday, May 5th, our North Miami Police Department hosts their annual memorial ceremony in honor of Sergeant Carl Mertes, Detective Sergeant Stephen Bauer, and Sergeant Lynette Hodge. Those are our officers from the North Miami Police Department that were lost in the line of duty. That event will take place, like I said, Tuesday, May 5th at 9 a.m. right in front of the North Miami Police Department, located at 700 Northeast 124th Street. On Thursday, May 7th, we are hosting an event, an interfaith breakfast in honor of the National Day of Prayer. That will take place at the Joe Celestine Center, located at 1525 Northwest 135th Street. Councilwoman Maria Lanz-Deveril, in collaboration with the Southeast Conference of the Seventh-day Adventists, invite you to an interfaith breakfast, and we do ask that you RSVP to the North Miami office of the Mayor and Council at 305-895-9815. Also that evening at the Joe Celestine Center, we are hosting a farewell reception in honor of Councilwoman Marie Lanz-Deveril. So we ask that you please join us as we honor her for her 10 years of service in office as the District 4 representative. Once again, we ask that you RSVP to the office of the Mayor and Council at 305-895-9815. On Friday, May 8th, we are hosting our biannual. Every 2 years, we host this event. It's the Golden Opportunities Senior Citizen Resource Fair. It's put together by our Senior Citizen Advisory Board here in North Miami. And it brings together a variety of organizations that offer services for seniors here in our community. That event will take place at the Gwen Margolis Community Center, located at 1590 Northeast 123rd Street. And it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Once again, that's Friday, May 8th, the Golden Opportunities Senior Citizen Resource Fair. And the month of May is Haitian Heritage Month, and we are holding our opening ceremony, the City of North Miami, on Friday, May 8th at MOCA. It will be the history of the Haitian flag. It's a panel discussion on the history of the flag, moderated by Patrick Elianci of Island TV. And the distinguished panel includes Jean-Claude Exulien, Dr. Jean-Baptiste Luc Charlot, and Anthony Georges Pierre. The event is also followed by a reception in MOCA's Paradise Courtyard. For more information, you can contact the Office of the Mayor and Council at 305-895-9818. And for our third year in a row, we are collaborating with the Haitian Culinary Alliance on a food festival called Taste of Haiti. This is an annual event to savor the experience of Haitian cuisine, presented with support by the City of North Miami and Miami-Dade County Commissioner Jean Monestime. The event will feature a cook-off and food for purchase from a variety of food booths hosted by professional chefs and restaurants. The event also features live musical entertainment on Saturday, May 9th from 3 to 9 p.m. right here in the MOCA Plaza next door to City Hall. For more information, you can visit tasteofhaitiusa.com. And just a quick reminder, we do have our municipal elections. Election day is Tuesday, May 12th. Early voting began this week on Monday, yesterday, April 27th, and it goes on until May 10th. Information on our election is posted on our vote site at northmiamifl.gov/vote, and we do remind District 4 residents to come out to vote as you are electing your district representative during this election. And a quick announcement for all college-bound seniors. We have the North Miami Educational Foundation Scholarship Program, and it's for North Miami students, residents of North Miami that attend college or are actually accepted by a university. We have all of our information posted on the front page of the website. Just look for the North Miami Educational Foundation Scholarship Program, and you will have all the guidelines, details, and application form. The deadline to apply is May 28th, so you do have some time, but don't wait till the last minute. For more information, you can contact the City Manager's Office at 305-895-9898. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pam. I believe we skipped one presentation by Mr. Jason Johnson, Water Operators.
Yes.
Water Operators Partnership with DNEPA, Haiti. Yes. Do you want to introduce him?
He's coming, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to introduce Jason Johnson from Pure Water Technologies.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members, city management, residents of North Miami. I wish you a good evening. My name is Jason Johnson. I am the president of the Caribbean Water and Wastewater Association. We are an organization of individuals that practice the protection of water and sanitation management throughout the Caribbean basin. Our headquarters are stationed in Trinidad, in the southern West Indies, but we service the entire Caribbean basin all the way up here into Florida. We have taken on an initiative with our partners at the UN Habitat Program, also in coordination with the American Water Works Association, where we are attempting to establish an operators partnership with the water utility that exists in Haiti. It goes by the acronym DINEPA. Forgive me for not giving the official name for it, as my pronunciation is poor. But DINEPA is responsible for water management throughout Haiti. And what we've identified is, through the UN Water Operators Program, we are encouraging the establishment of a peer support arrangement between utilities, both in the Caribbean as well as in the United States, to help support and address a lot of the circumstances that are encountered associated with typical water management in Haiti. To give you some context in terms of the situation there, in comparison to here in North Miami, there is no 24/7 water supply throughout the service area that is provided by DINEPA. Most of the water resources that are available are contaminated based on natural disasters that have existed, based on some development patterns that have happened, based on deforestation and a variety of different circumstances. And we believe that through the partnership from operator to operator, there's the opportunity to begin doing a peer-to-peer learning and education program. And that's what I'm here to promote. The Kerouac program, focusing on the DINEPA program, took a reconnaissance mission to Haiti, where there were representatives from the Bahamas, Water and Sewerage Corporation, the St. Lucia Water and Sewerage Company, Grenada National Water and Sewerage Authority, the Turks and Caicos Provo Water, my organization, CWWA, the Pan American Health Organization. We all sent representatives to examine for ourselves the circumstance. And we found that some of the basic things associated with providing water on a routine basis that's done so efficiently by your Public Works department, they don't have the capabilities to do that. And it's not through senior management that that stuff can be done. It can be peer-to-peer basis. A person who's responsible here within the city, who's responsible for laying pipe, has the ability to train and communicate and convey on a direct line with their counterpart in DINEPA. So what we are basically asking for is the city to become a member of the steering committee associated with this initiative, to identify one specific element that the city of North Miami believes that it can help support DINEPA in terms of its development, and furthermore, the costs associated with doing this support is primarily managed by the World Bank or the Inter-American Development Bank. So in terms of the overall cost to the city, it is negligible. It is just a time dedication of any resources that the city would choose to do. So at this particular point in time, I wish to thank you for the opportunity to have these words. If there are any further questions that you have regarding the GWOPA program, CWWA, or our specific initiative with DINEPA, there are two websites you can go to. You can go to GWOPA, that is GWOPA.org, O-R-G, or you can go to CWWA.net to get more information. I will continue to work through the Public Works Department to get whatever particular response that the city may have regarding this, but I do appreciate the opportunity to have a few words in front of the council and the city this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Manager, do you have anything to add?
Well, only on that item, I saw it fit to put it on the agenda because I think with all the devastation that has occurred in Haiti and water being the most, vital part for any sort of infrastructure and sanitary systems, I think with the World Health Organization actually funding most of it, and all we're going to be doing is volunteer work from any one of our technical departments, whether it's the engineering or operators, that we could assist. I think it's a very, very good opportunity to extend. And again, it's something that is funded by the Pan American Health Organization. All we are doing is volunteer work, and it will strictly on a volunteer basis with this organization. And I think it's a very good cause.
Thank you. Any comment by council members? No comment? None. Okay, we'll proceed with the consent agenda. Of city projects. Do you have any update?
Yeah, it's going to be a brief update. Our project manager for projects, all capital projects, Jeff Geimer.
Good evening again, Jeff Geimer, Capital Projects Manager. I'm presenting this evening on behalf of Whistler Pierre Lewis, who is out of town for NIMS training. So we're just going to do a really brief update on capital projects that are ongoing. Number one on the list is the library renovation project. The library is progressing. Phase 1 renovations have been completed. The library is looking beautiful. This is a shot of the interior where the circulation desk and the computers are going to be in the not too distant future. The Phase 2 work, which includes the storefront and the back office and exterior renovations, is still to come. Water plant upgrades. This is Phase 1 of a 4-part project. We're doing the well rehabilitations, which is currently in progress. This is going to be in progress for about another 3 months before we can move on to the next phase. Traffic circle improvements. We're doing some landscaping, irrigation, and electrical upgrades at the 4 traffic circles listed on the list. And this project has just recently been released, and it's went to permitting today, and work should begin in the next 2 weeks. This is one of the circles that's going to be improved on Northeast 7th Avenue. Sidewalk improvement projects in District 3. We've been installing some new sidewalks along with rehabilitating some of the existing sidewalks. In District 2, there is funding for rehabilitation of existing sidewalks as well. This is just an example of the sidewalk that gets lifted due to natural causes. That's a tree root that you see going to the sidewalk, and what we'll have to do is pull the slab of sidewalk, root prune the tree, and then put in a new slab. Something like this, it does take some time to get to, so what we would do is we would come out and put a temporary patch on the area that lifted with asphalt, and then we'll schedule the replacement of the sidewalk slab. This is just an example of a repaired sidewalk. Street resurfacing in FY14, the mayor and council allocated $250,000 towards street resurfacing. In FY15, the mayor and council allocated $650 towards street resurfacing. And resurfacing is done through the pavement evaluation study that had been completed, so we basically phase the repairs based on that pavement evaluation study. This is just a picture of a street that's been resurfaced. So we're doing some rights-of-way improvements in some of the districts of the city. What we're doing, going through, repanning some of the swales, resodding it, and doing driveway approaches.
You lost contact.
Oh, sorry. Well, I could just explain kind of what's going on. So,
I think it's just a few slides.
yeah, there's just there's just a few other slides, so I could just explain it and talk you through it. So we are doing some rights-of-way swale improvements and enhancements throughout the city. The Sans Souci alleyway wall project is about 2/3 the way completed. That's off 122nd Street behind the Colonnade condominiums, and the wall. It's really progressing, looks great, and that project will be completed in early June. And another project that's going to be let out very shortly is the 124th Street roadway improvement right here by City Hall. We're going to be putting some street side parking in and some landscaping, and we're going to create an entrance into the parking lot.
Lighting as well, yeah.
And lighting. That's the update for existing projects. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Anything to add, Mr. Manager?
No, I think Jeff has said it all. Most of the other projects in District 3 are being wrapped up. District 4 projects, there's some on the agenda for tonight, and we have a list of other projects in District 4 that has already commenced. We have the track. That project was already let out for, the contractor was selected. When I say the track, the improvements along Pepper Park.
You mean Miss Brown's track?
That's correct. And I think I will name it Miss Brown's track. That is already with the Councilwoman Sterrell, met with me last week. The money is allocated, the contractor is selected, and we have started. I've also talked to the parks manager.
Actually, can I make a motion to call it Miss Judy Brown's track?
You have that prerogative.
That's not our option. That's up to us.
It's on my district. Hold on a minute. What about the
I don't have a second.
Seeing as though the nominee is shaking her head vigorously.
Yeah, she said no. I know.
Okay.
Let me, my other question is
Sure.
the median on 7th Avenue.
The 7th Avenue medians, we sent the plans down to FDOT through the permitting process. As soon as we get them back, then we will select the locations for the medule palms.
Can we get an update on the boardwalk? Mr. Corker here. North Bay Shore Park Boardwalk.
North Bay Shore Boardwalk. The permitting from not South Florida Water Management was already approved. We got that in. I signed off on the DERM permit about less than a week ago. That was completed. So all we are waiting now on is the contractor to remobilize and actually start the construction.
When can we expect that to be finished?
I believe we're just waiting on one more approval, which is the Army Corps of Engineers. Since it's on the intercoastal, we are depending on, it is part of the approval process or part of the permitting process from the Army Corps. So I believe within the next 3 months, that should be completed. All the materials is actually stored there. We are just waiting on the district, which we got. We got the RER, which is the environmental permit, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Their approval is the final one for us to start construction.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another point, and to the mayor, Mr. Manager, Deputy City Manager, this week we meet with the school board from the county about Cagney Park North, and can you share those great news from?
Pepper Park, I heard.
Yeah, that's what it is. Can you give us an update about Cagney Park, because people have been asking what we're gonna do with that empty lot and
Yes,
this.
sir. Luman Pluvius Claude, Deputy City Manager. This week we had a meeting with the school board and both separately 2 meetings with both Councilman Bien-Aimé and the mayor, Dr. Smith Joseph. What we concluded from that meeting, that we're going to proceed with the construction of the Cagney Park. In the upcoming meeting of the school board, they're going to propose that they evaluate all the features that the school board are responsible to put in the park. And from the evaluation, we agree on a certain amount of money that they will be giving to the city, and the city will proceed with the construction of the park.
It's okay to say the amount. Go ahead.
3.5 million will be given from the school board, and the city will proceed with the construction of the park. So we're waiting from now on. Our city attorney with the school board attorney will be working together on the agreement, and then we will proceed.
We're gonna have about 2.5, and that's gonna go on June 17, and that's when the school board gonna have a resolution on the agenda to be passed.
Actually, 2 million is already allocated in the budget
from this year budget,
and an additional 1.5 for the next fiscal budget from the school board for a total of 3.5 million.
And my deputy manager was my witness. I tried to get an additional 1 million. I begged and begged and begged and begged. It didn't happen.
But the good news is the school board was trying to do the work with about $2 million. And as of right now, we get 3.5.
Yes.
And they're going to turn over the money to us
And we
to
will lead
do the
construction.
project. And
They're going to put it in an escrow.
ESCO. And out of that, and I can ensure you that and in Cagney Park, we're going to have a full-size Olympic size pool at Cagney, including other stuff that's going to be put in there.
That's correct.
And we hope that the city attorney, before the 17th, you will have an agreement signed with the school board and that resolution ready for them to approve. And we got to thank some people from the school board,
Yeah, it is.
and we don't want to point names. After they pass it, we will point names.
Okay, we'll proceed with the consent agenda. Need a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Sterry. It was seconded by Councilman Bieneme to approve the consent agenda. Anyone wishes to record a no?
No.
Okay, so consent agenda passes 4-1 with Dr. Mayor Smith.
No, I said no one wishes. You asked if
This
there's
is
anyone.
this
I
is
said
why
no.
we should say
I know,
all
I
in
know,
favor
I know,
say
but
aye,
it gets a
all in
little
favor say
confusing.
nay.
Anyone wishes to record a no on the consent agenda? None being heard, consent agenda is approved 5-0. Tab E. I tried it that way, Scott, but it was confusing. And proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, creating the District 4 2015 single family beautification program utilizing funds from the District 4 capital improvement allocation of $100,000 and further approving the guidelines for the beautification program, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. That is tab E.
Move for approval, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Anyone on J?
Public hearing is now open.
Except if the mayor want to add another 100.
Oh, yes, J. I thought you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maria Lee. I live at 12525 Northeast First Court, North Miami. The word have been going around that they're going to get rid of Mr. Alim. I don't think so. He's been here too long.
No, I'm sorry, ma'am. Can we keep it for citizens forum?
I beg your pardon?
Can we keep it for citizens forum?
This is about tab E.
Tab E.
Okay. All right. I
Thank
will
you.
wait.
Good evening, Annie Montgomery, 2082 Laurel Lane. This is about tab E. It's about $100,000, correct? Am I correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And it's about District 4. I honestly believe that our councilwoman should not have the authority or the authority to dispose of this or give this 100,000 away at this point. She is stepping down, and I believe this should be to our next council person elected by the people that are going to be entertaining this money. I believe that this money needs to be refunded to our city, even though I've had different readings about it, but I don't think it's a grant. When this was brought up in front of our council, it was a loan to be paid off and prorated if you live in the house for 7 years. I think we should leave this to our next council person for District 4 when elected. I came to this country many years ago when I was a teenager, 19. I listened to President Kennedy during the campaign. I stayed awake till 3 o'clock in the morning listening to him. So that's how interested I was in this country. And his words were, don't ask what this country can do for you. Ask what you can do for this country. And that's what I'm saying to the citizens of North Miami. Those words stuck in my heart because I love this country and I love this city. Thank you.
Silvia Mayol, 100 Northeast 124th Street. And I didn't think to talk, but when I hear what President Kennedy did, what at that time they killed a lot of people in Vietnam, and I saw Channel 2 last night about the movie, and the movie will be at night tonight. What the people can do for the country, and they send all the Negroes over there, all the Latin, all the Jewish, all the Italian to kill in the Vietnam War, but they don't send the rich people on this country. They went to the best university. Then wars, there are wars, and with good war we can conquer the war, all the world, but wars, there are wars. And they go and come, and through them, they convince people and they convince mass, but they don't help. Words don't help, actions. And I invite you to check about Vietnam. I don't have, I don't have cables because I don't watch too much television, just sometimes news. And I was lucky to see last night that documentary. I invite you to check about. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Judy Brown. I live at 1100 Northwest 128 Terrace. And from what I've read, I really would like for this to be explained, because the only thing that what I've got is that this is a process that you want to put in place so District 4 will be able to utilize this money. You're going to establish guidelines for the residents to apply for either beautification of the home or other projects that we deem necessary for our district. Is that correct?
Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, these are the same guidelines. The guidelines that was adopted in this program are the exact same guidelines that was adopted for District 3.
Right.
And it's actually a facade and beautification program. The money can only be used for properties that is in substandard and poor condition, properties located within the district, single-family homes, residential homes, and also the property must not be bank-owned. Applicants' tax obligation must be current, and repairs must be the following: exterior painting, replacement of exterior doors. Actually, it says repaving, but it's actually paving and new driveways, replacement of older windows and hurricane impact doors and windows, and replacement of the fascia and soffit and gutters on the structure.
Okay, thank you. Now, the other programs, and I know I asked this question the last time, you assured me that there would be some input from the residents as well as other projects that we would desire to use to spend our $100,000 on. All right, so I really don't see, because it's sort of like null and void, because our councilwoman is stepping down. I mean, we're in the process of an election now, so just let this process move along, and the people in District 4 with a person that's elected, we would like for these guidelines to be set, and we certainly need to have our money spent on beautification and other projects in our district. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Carol Prager, 2509 Northeast 135th Street. I read all the backup on this item. It was on the website, the city website. I understand the program. It's very clear. The criteria for the applicants is quite specific. The improvements to the homes is understood. The only question that I have about the whole thing, I mean, all of that is fine and clear, Mr. Ghani. But my understanding from the past, and I want someone to explain this and maybe clarify it for me, I never understood this program to be a grant program. I always understood this program to be something that is paid back or the residents stay in the home for an extended period of time. So I'd like clarification of that because, you know, we're going to be having people lining up here, probably more than what the $100,000 could cover. So that's two things. And also I do agree, there's less than 2 weeks here left on a term, and hopefully we don't have a runoff. And so I think the people of District 4 should have more say as to where this $100,000 is allocated, and we should have the representative of that district involved in that conversation with their constituents. Thank you.
Good evening. William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. By the way, that Vietnam program on public TV is worth watching. It starts at 8 o'clock tonight. Nice series. That aside, I'd like to repeat what I said at the last council meeting, and that is I very much support beautification of the city, making improvements where we can. And on this occasion, in acknowledgement of Councilwoman Sterrell's parting evening, I would like us to proceed and distribute as she sees fit and give support to that. That said, and it's a modest amount of money, it's only $100,000. In the big scheme of things, it's very, very little. But that said, I'd like it not to be repeated. I'd like us not to give sort of donations to individuals and at the expense of their neighbors and at the expense of the city. I think that there should be a great deal of investment in our communities, but it should go to investments that help everybody in that community, that particular neighborhood. If it's that particular block, let's give it the extra landscaping, the site improvements, the landscaping, the sidewalks, lighting, signage, benches. Let's add some new parks. Let's put the money in to improve those neighborhoods that are most blighted and in need in our city. And let's not try to give favoritism to individuals. This really starts to segregate those people who haven't maybe attended the meetings, who aren't on top of things, who haven't been on the sort of a favored chain of command, and therefore those people would be left out. And it's not doing a good service to those people. This money is public money. It should go to public common good. I'd like to see that in the future, that this not repeat itself, and I'd appreciate if there was a motion to that extent that this does not come up as an issue again and again. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor Joseph and Council. My name is Jessica Alston. I live 1140 Northwest 125th Street. I stand today to ask you to reserve the money that is going to be awarded to District 4 to be used by the new council person who will replace Councilwoman Sterrell in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Marie Samuel. I live on Northeast 12th Avenue between Bryan Elementary and the bus stop on 128th, and I'm always here talking about my district, my area. I don't see anybody ever here talking about Northeast 12th Avenue. It seems to have been forgotten. On the meeting that we had for the 14th, it was approved, tab E was approved, saying that District 2, my councilwoman presented that, saying that there would be capital improvements, including home beautification projects. The reply that I got from Mr. Ghani says that, and that was on the 14th, she already wrote him on the 10th, saying that no proceeds should be used or applied to individual property owners unless there is an absolute payback. My question to Councilman Bien-Aimé is, and all the others who have who are trying to help their people fix their homes rather than the sidewalks, because you can't have a sidewalk unless you have a home. Why do you people keep helping other districts than my district? I feel that Councilman Carol Keyes is not helping my area. I said that when she came knocking at my door for the first time she wanted my vote, and the second time that she wanted my vote again, and she's wrong.
Good evening, Alita Rosenfeld. I live in Keystone Point. I'm speaking to this particular tab E just because of what I've seen in the past. I've seen funds allocated to certain districts that have gone into personal driveways, paved driveways. It almost seems as if there's favoritism in certain areas. People know people, and money becomes allocated to certain homes, to certain, let's just say they are not, the funds that are being allocated are not improving a whole community. They are improving certain people's homes. I'd love for the next councilwoman who replaces, or man, who replaces Councilwoman Sturrill, to look overall at the community and, as some of the other folks here have mentioned, see what the entire community needs, not several homes, which can easily absorb $100,000 in wind-resistant or impact-resistant windows, new paved driveways, a couple of nice trees, when I think probably there are more dire needs in this particular community, as well as some others that are being spoken to. But since this particular community is asking for funds now, I think it's best to wait and to discuss where the funds will best be utilized by the next council person, who can certainly use $100,000, which is not $1,000. It's quite a bit of money in any particular district. And I am very much in favor of beautification in every community. I think it's extremely worthwhile within this city. But do it for entire neighborhoods, entire communities. Don't just benefit a few select people. Thank you.